Okay. Well, we didn't write an intro.
And that's how it starts.
The prophecy has been foretold.
Is this the best family in Summoner's War?
We're about to find out in the first episode of Monster Families Ranked, is what we decided on.
Let's talk Devilmon necessity. My colleague here is fighting some children, but he will arrive to tell you which one of these oracles deserves all Devilmon. And the answer is...
So let's talk about Devilmon necessity.
I already said that. You were supposed to just give the answer.
Oh. All of them.
Fully skill them up. And you know why?
Every single skill is important, including their skill 1. We'll talk about it a lot.
We'll only say this once. Their skill 1 hits like a truck after the introduction of artifacts.
We're only going to say this multiple times. Their first skill is one of the best in the game because of damage and utility. They're able to deal crazy bonus damage because of artifacts, and if you land all 3 as crits, you're cycling through an entire third of a turn. That's so good that it belongs on a second skill. I swear, that's almost...
Ager's very
it's
jealous.
almost as good as Ager's second skill.
Very jealous.
I know he puts a brand, but literally gaining 50% attack bar is part of the skill.
Yeah.
Let's start with Juno, the Fire Oracle. Yeah, she's a stripper, but you don't...
Beneficial effect remover.
But you don't really bring her for that. You bring her more to counter teams that heavily rely on debuffs or crowd control.
Remember, avoid monsters that reduce attack bars and of the opposite element because they're extremely dangerous, so if she doesn't take a turn, she won't cleanse the debuffs on herself.
So that means Lawrence, Ager. Funny, second time he's come up.
Mashas.
Mashas is another big one. Because, yeah, they're anti-Juno. That'll make your Juno...
Even a Chungfang sometimes.
A Junon't. Juno has a pretty interesting career at Summoner's War. She started out pretty much as a storage guardian, but a key buff changed her into an ideal counterpick for the meta.
And she has a very strong crit rate lead that fits perfectly with her kit, cycling turns with skill 1 like we talked about in the beginning of the video.
It's a little too much synergy, I don't know about that. I don't know if I like that.
She doesn't need it though, you can ruin her on 85% crit rate.
We didn't even mention that she heals the whole team. Anyway, on to Praha.
Praha, known as a classic nemesis healer in Arena, but after a recent buff, making her entrance into RTA. What you gonna do? Strip AoE, sleep AoE, heals, and that beautiful skill 1.
And if she happens to be on Violent, skill 2, strip into skill 3, sleep, that's kind of unheard of. There's not a lot of monsters in Summoner's War that can do that.
And for a defensive monster like that, a resist lead matches her perfectly. It can help you play with a turn 2 comp and react to what your opponent's trying to bring to the table.
Both sick and nasty. Let's talk about Ciara.
Considered by most the best damage dealer in the game. A very strong speed lead for RTA and Arena, and
she's got bombs. Bombs don't glance, and she's the only monster in the game to have a skill that applies a bomb and then can detonate it right afterwards.
So a damage dealer that controls and cycles turns by herself.
Now we're getting into the light and dark monsters. GIANA the Dark Oracle is widely considered to be one of the most desired Dark Nat 5s in the game, and for good reason too. She can open up with a guaranteed, though conditional stun, as long as the enemy has buffs applied on them, and she can put a bomb.
Yep, and she also has that beautiful cycling on skill 1, and she's an element neutral damage dealer, which also facilitates the critting from skill 1.
And then add on top of that an attack leader skill, and you got a really desirable monster.
The last one of the pack, LAIMA. The Light Oracle was recently buffed and changed a little bit to bring in not only that AoE cleanse, but also immunity and invincibility on that beautiful skill, combining with an AoE strip. Do you know any other monsters that do that in the game, Evan?
No.
Well, I would normally say that you don't know anything about the game. But in this case, you're completely right.
There are monsters that come close. Hagang does something kind of similar with a strip and cleanse for his team. You could kind of make an argument that Velajul has the potential to do something similar, though only on a single target, and pretty much after that the comparisons end, because she is 1 in a million. Now that you know everything you need to know about each monster in the family, let's rank the oracles. Number 5!
Starting from the bottom now here, LAIMA is over there with her beautiful strip and invincibility, immunity, cleanse. Still a very strong monster. No shame.
No shame at all. This is one of the best monster families altogether, with the highest density of fabulous monsters in Summoner's War. That's an opinion. That's not actually objective. But Being number 5 in a family like this is not a bad thing.
And number 4, we have the water version, Praha. We think that the combo between strip and AoE control makes her a very viable unit on violent runes and makes a case for being at number 4.
And at number 3, we've got Juno, the Fire Oracle, who's got the strip, she's got the turn cycling, and she's got a passive ability that'll keep letting her solo teams through the rest of the RTA seasons.
And number 2, we have one of the most wanted elemental net 5s in the game, Ciara, the damage dealer that ignores all elements.
And number 1, it's Gianna, the Dark Oracle.
If you have her, you're probably G1 in RTA, so congrats. I hate you.
Though, just in case the message was lost, the list really looks like this.
Gianna and Ciara at the top,
followed by Juno at number
Closely.
2, and then the other 2 in any combination, whichever one you prefer. That's
Tie.
more or less what it is, really.
Yep.
What do you think of the list? Tell us if you agree or not in the comments below, and if you'd like to see more series like this, suggest which family you want us to look at next.
Do you have any oracles? I do.
Me too.
You have more?
I've got 2.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, alright.
Wait, Praha and Ciara?
Praha and Ciara?
Praha and Ciara!